Good morning, it's Yvonne here to do your What's Cracking reading. As I always do, a huge thank you to you all for supporting my channel. For the people who've been with me since the very beginning and the new people who've come on board, it's great to have you here. Okay, we're going to use the Rider-Waite Tarot today. I actually keep looking at my cards and thinking I need to have a reshuffle, so I might get around to that over the next few days. Feeling much better, almost there. So that's fantastic too. So thank you for all your well wishes, your healing and prayers that you sent to me. I feel like I'm almost completely recovered, which is awesome. Next fair for the people living in the Goulburn area, I think is the 21st of September. If you're interested in that, just join my Facebook page. I put all the updates on there. I don't always get them in other places because it's a completely different crowd, I guess, but Facebook is the one that has most people on it, so I try to get my updates there. So if you want to see me in a fair and you do live in New South Wales, yeah, keep on my Facebook page. All right, let's see. Oh, what have we got jumping? Six of Pentacles jumping out. So there's a little bit of a sort of edge on this card today. The Six of Pentacles for me is very much that card of equal give and take. And some people go, oh, it'll never be equal. I don't mean it has to be, 50-50 all the time. But, if you're putting something into something, there is a sort of need for you to anticipate something in return. Now, I guess if you're doing it anonymously, that is your choice. And if you're doing it out of goodwill of your own heart, that too is your own choice. But this is about putting into something where somebody is not respecting enough to give back. So sometimes this can be in a relationship where you keep investing in a relationship hoping the other person may decide to give back to you. But it often means that you're not getting out what you're putting in, whether that is just, that material side, whether it is someone helping you back, whether it is a relationship where you get to be, I guess, respected and given an equal amount of love or respect. Whatever it is, it feels to me like you're just being asked to pay attention to the relationships you give to. Some of us never understood that, and we just kept giving and giving and giving. Funnily enough, another six, so that's really important. But this is moving away from that situation. So I figure here, there is an energy here that Spirit is saying to you that if you're not getting what you want out of a relationship, don't keep investing in it. So if you're not getting love back, you're not getting respect back, you're not getting the time back, all of those elements, if you keep investing, you're going to turn the relationship toxic. But the problem is you don't see this until further down the track when you start to become resentful and angry that you're not getting back what you thought you should be doing. Again, this is something that many of us have learned along the way because we keep investing thinking somehow we're healing the other person and somehow they're going to change their mind and give more. But eventually it just breaks down. All right, let's see where we're going with your reading today then. Quite interesting to start off with. All right, so it definitely is something to do with a relationship. I always think if you've done this in the past, maybe you can understand how to do something different moving forward. Now, sometimes we don't believe we are worthy of love, so we keep investing because we feel that because we're not worthy, we have to do more and more and more. And we keep doing it thinking somehow the other person will turn around for us. But that's not the case. Somebody put it very succinctly not so long ago. I have a feeling it might have been Brianna McWilliam, but it may not have been, who said that, if you're always giving to a relationship, you don't pose the challenge for the other person. So they just keep taking advantage and then they get bored. So I know that that's very simplified, but that's basically what happens. So if you don't speak up for yourself, you don't show strength of character, you don't stand up for who you are, then eventually the other person will feel that there's no challenge in the relationship. So you can't always be nice and not speak up for yourself. It doesn't work that way. you will get taken advantage of in most cases. Now, I don't say that's in every case, because I do feel that you do find people who are very similar to you, in which case they may be doing the same thing back again. But you ask yourself, if you've met someone who has always given to you and not always shown you their own truth, then there is an element of incongruence. That means that eventually it starts to feel like that person is starting to get angry or anxious with you because they feel that you're not being true to who you are. So there's a very long depth there. I feel like here you are either going to be offered with something new. Something is becoming abundant on your path, and that often means something is about to come to you, or something is about to be shown to you, or you're getting an opportunity here to have a brand new beginning with that Two of Cups. This is something that Spirit is sending in because perhaps you have done some healing, perhaps you have understood how to work differently with people. It's okay to say, I don't feel like you're treating me well, or I would like more in this relationship, but you don't leave it until you become angry and resentful. And never expect that the other person is going to do what you want them to do. I feel like when we're in that really naive sense of who we are, we question why it is that other people in the world aren't the same as us. And that's the part of us that wants to heal the other person. But that isn't always the way to go. We can't heal anybody else. We certainly cannot control other people. So you can't expect by you thinking somebody should do something a certain way that you've got that control over them, because that is actually disastrous. We can ask for what we want. We can say, you know, you're not doing this for us and we'd really like it if you want to do that. But don't go talking to your friends about it if you're not prepared to say it to the person you're with. But if you say it to the person you're with and they do not respond well, then maybe it's time to give that one away. I feel like you've learned all this. I feel like you're ready to move into the next stage where you're about to meet someone or get back what you're putting into a relationship, because I see the abundance here. To me, this is about, look at this, beautiful. All right, so this is definitely about being dissatisfied with relationships. You may be a self-sabotager. So if a person doesn't give you back, you see it as your problem, your fault. I didn't give them enough love. I didn't put in enough effort. So you keep giving and giving until you're exhausted. And then you become resentful and angry that the person doesn't see you in that way. That's the self-sabotage here. It's almost like you're being advised here. You've got someone new coming in here. And your dissatisfaction, definitely having communication. The dissatisfaction you've been feeling in your past is going to be different in this relationship if you set yourself differently. So if you're still in that same energy and doing the same thing you've done in your past relationships, you're going to keep doing the same thing. If you've had a pause or a hiatus or a break between relationships, this would have been what you were learning in that time. How to love and respect yourself, because that's what it all comes down to. But when someone new comes in, if we haven't learned that lesson, we keep investing in them because we're so desperate to have their love back again. Well, the best way to get someone's love for you is to love yourself, because then other people know how to love you back. You lead, you show them that that is how you need to be loved. So I feel like you're getting a brand new opportunity. Someone new is coming towards you. It could be somebody that you've known for a while. It could be somebody that you've been keen on, but something is coming towards you now where you get to put your learning into practice. So let's have a good look. Right, here comes a love offer. Now this is Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio energy right here. But more important, this person has a cup for you. This person is taking action. They're moving towards you. They want more. Now remember, you need to drink from that cup first. That's what it's all about. So if you want something that's long-term, something solid, you've got to be true to who you are. So definitely movement on the horizon here for those of you looking for love. Isn't this beautiful? Look, these cards are really very opposite here. These two cards say you're being given an opportunity that is part of your destiny. This is somebody coming towards you that has been guided into your life. But the two cards here say to me, don't fall back into the same old pattern, because you're going to end up with this energy. So it's almost like you're sort of conflicted here on how to move forward. And I want to say to you with the Star, you need to trust yourself. It's not wrong to ask for what you want. You know, somebody said to me once with a relationship, they'd been with somebody for a while, and they said to me, but I want a relationship. And I said, well, have you asked that person? Well, no. And I'm like, why? Oh, because if I ask for a relationship, he might go. I was like, well, if he goes, then he wasn't meant to be in your life to start with. That's sort of the energy of being used, really. So if you're not prepared to stand up and say, are we, exclusive to each other? Is this a relationship? That is one way of finding out how much the other person is investing in you. You know, some people will tell you straight away, I don't want to muck around. I want a relationship. And that's really good. But if somebody's reluctant to give you that commitment, then I feel like here you need to be very aware of your own self-sabotage here. You need to be very aware, because if you persevere with somebody who's told you exactly who they are, then that's forced to you. So, you know, I've heard people say, oh, well, you know, he told me in the beginning he didn't want a relationship, but I thought he'd change his mind. You can't sit in the guarantee that that person is going to come forth, even if they've told you that that's what they want in the future, but they've been too fluffy about it. Then I would question whether this is the right person for you. And I feel like here you're being really asked to sit with that, so that you don't get disappointed, so that you don't fall apart when this doesn't sort of go the way you want it to. But I do feel this with the Star here, you may be being tested as to whether you are able to put your learnings into practice, whether you have learned to love yourself, whether you learned your good boundaries. Yeah, see, we have the Lovers card coming out with the Judgment card. Now, I have to say to you, and there's that Six of Swords, I really feel here that you may already have had either one go round with this person, or you know this person with the Judgment and the Lovers card here. Because to me that says that some sort of choice was made in the past not to continue with this. So if you walked away from this because this person didn't want a relationship, then you need to check whether it's going to be different this time around. And that needs to be your first question if they approach you. I mean, we can't always guarantee or trust that somebody's going to do the right thing by us in the long run, but we need to trust who we are. Otherwise, we might as well give up now. And that's why I think you're getting a lot of this energy here around being able to learn from your past mistakes, from the sadness or the emptiness you felt in the past. Because someone is coming in again here. Now, I feel like for some of you, this may not be the return of somebody new, but it may be the return of love. In which case, again, you have to show that you've learned the lessons here. You're being called to show that you've learned the lessons and that you know when to walk away when something is not serving you. All right, we have a Knight of Wands coming through. It's a beautiful reading. There is a real sort of feeling here that something good is about to come. Something great is about to happen to you. But it's almost like the universe is saying, well, this is in your hands. If you want something from this, you've got to be true to who you are. Don't be so excited that somebody's resurfaced that you forget the work you've done in the meantime. Because I do have the Sun card here. You've got very strong Leo energy here. So it could be a Leo for you. But in saying that, we also have Aquarius and we also have Gemini. But if you're going to do the same thing in your part as you did in the past, then you're going to have to accept that you're going to have the same result again. Oh, that's interesting. I pulled two out. There's a lot of energy around here about considering what you want, considering yourself, making yourself an equal person in this situation, understanding your own power, understanding that it's okay to ask for things. Like I said, if you ask the other person for something and they say no, or they do not give you some sort of indication of what they want, then more than likely you should be sort of backing off or backing down. I remember somebody telling me a story once. I may have read it somewhere. It might have been on a dating site. And this girl had said she'd broken up with her partner. And when she asked him why he was leaving her, he said that it was because she was getting fat, and that he told her if she ever got fat, he wouldn't continue in the relationship. Now, if somebody said to me at the beginning of a relationship, if you get fat, I'm leaving you, I certainly wouldn't have continued with the relationship. But her attitude was, I thought he'd change his mind once he loved me. Well, obviously he wasn't going to love you to start with, so what you were expecting was never going to happen. But all the same, when it finally happens, you need to understand that if he said something to you in the beginning of a relationship, he wasn't going to do it. He wasn't going to change that. I do seem to be using male situations here, but obviously I've dealt with a lot more women in these situations. But this doesn't mean I haven't dealt with men. I've had men say very, very similar things to me. She said she didn't want to leave her partner, but I thought eventually when she fell in love with me, she would leave, and she didn't. So it does happen, both sides. But what you're doing here is you're making some sort of decision to move forward here. But this time around, you're using this learning here that you've been enlightened by. So I do feel here that things are going to look very different for you going forward. All right, let's have a quick look. So I feel like you're getting a brand new opportunity. I feel this is abundant for you. Don't self-sabotage it. There is Libra, Gemini, Aquarius energy here, but I don't feel this is. I feel this is you. I feel this is you speaking up for what you want and standing up for what you're seeing. We're getting a lot of this lately in the readings because what you've done in the past has not been satisfying for you. There is contact coming from somebody here who wants to have either a relationship with you or wants to have at least make some starts. I think it's all very good to ask somebody in the beginning when you first meet them, what are you looking for? Are you looking for a relationship or are you looking to just date? Most people will be extremely honest with you at this point. No, I'm just playing the field. I'm not sure what I want. And then you know before you go in that perhaps this person is only interested in having a fling. Okay, so the card we've got out here for you is Go the Distance. Card 47. Here we go. This is about endurance, strength, and the long haul. To bring your dream to life, you must think long term and pay no attention to the fluctuations in the current of your experience. Joy and disappointment commingle with opportunities. There is no need to fear the occasional obstacle. Life is not a sprint. This card is a reminder that you have endurance, strength, and fortitude to carry you all the way. Remain true to yourself. Your authenticity alone will keep you in alignment with the energy of miracles. What is yours will never be withheld from you. Remember that. I'm going to read the relationship here because I think it's very important. You either are in or you're calling in a harmonious relationship that can stand the test of time. For better or worse, as you ride the ups and downs and even strain, break yourself and are remade in new growth, you are being redeemed by the power of regeneration. Harmony does not mean there will be never a wrong note played, but that the relationship is marked by endurance and dedication to overall unity. A new song can be written, an instrument can be tuned, and the symphony of love will play on. Listen with your heart. Isn't it magnificent? So I feel like you're definitely, especially with this card here, being called to renew something. Now, it could be another relationship that you've had in the past. It could be giving a second go to something, absolutely. But this is the renewal of spirit that's coming through in this card. I'll leave you with that. Thank you.